Now there is another interesting matchup coming up. We know that Nostam's final deck is that aggro backspace rogue.
Ah, that's right.
And that's a matchup that I've played on the rogue side a lot of. I haven't played the shaman side, but I've played it enough to know that it hinges upon some really big swing cards. And the cards that you want to see if you're the rogue player are Cold Light Oracle and Blade Flurry, and especially something that works with Blade Flurry.
All right.
Now,
Undertaker looks like a unexpectedly good card. I have played this matchup as the shaman side pre-Nax, but Undertaker, I'm like, oh, wow. A 1-2. Hey, that's pretty good.
it is really good, and especially if it grows, it could threaten to kill 2 things, and that's a really big deal against this type of deck.
Keeps Lightning Storm in his
aggro.
opening hand, which I'm not sure about since they typically don't have that many things.
Yeah, that's going to be a hit or miss type of card. It really depends on what questions the rogue deck asks you,
Yes.
whether or not that will be an appropriate answer. But it does help keep you safe. Unfortunately, he draws 2. So if his opponent doesn't have anything that Lightning Storm is particularly good against, then it will not end up being really that exciting.
Right. I mean, right now, Dominus is basically playing with possibly you could call this a 1-card hand in Flame Tongue Totem.
Yeah. He does pick up, Lightning Bolt is good as well. He does pick up an Azure Drake, which could be good for later.
Yeah, this is a big surprise. Nostam decided to dagger up instead of play Loot Hoarder.
Yeah, and I thought he was going to dagger up and attack the Undertaker, but the risk there would have been, what if you draw, or what if they have a Death Rattle guy and grow it? So then you would have attacked into it for really no reason.
Also a problem with the Loot Hoarder play because he can grow it and then attack into Loot Hoarder without dying.
Having 2 things die is what you don't want to have happen to that Undertaker, and so Nostam does make the safest play. The most likely play to be able to kill it for sure. But unfortunately, his opponent got Searing Totem, and that means that Loot Hoarder gets taken down with relative ease.
Right. Searing Totem is at its best against Backspace Rogue.
So King Mukla comes down, which is actually really interesting, and he does have a Cold Light Oracle to follow it up as well. So if there's anything really critical, Feral Spirit is a great card. If there's anything really critical that Dominus wants or needs to draw, Nostam could possibly even see it burn away.
Right now he does have 10 cards in hand. He can deal with the Mukla by Banana Rockbiter, which also has the benefit of using several cards.
Another play that he could consider is something like Feral Spirit and playing both of the bananas.
Or even Feral Spirit into Coin Flame Tongue.
Also a consideration. So Feral Spirit is really likely to get played this turn, mostly because he doesn't have a great answer to the Mukla this turn. He's also looking at Flame Tongue Totem and Lightning Bolt.
He does have a great answer to Mukla, and this is right now a debate between several great answers.
I see. Yeah, no, you're right. There's nothing that removes it immediately, Flame Tongue Totem and Lightning Bolt do.
Yeah, or Lightning Bolt, Banana.
And it looks like that's what he's going to do, actually. He's going to Flame Tongue Totem and Lightning Bolt.
Okay. And he uses the coin to get out an extra totem. That puts him at 7 cards, otherwise he would have been an 8. I wonder if he's planning around the Cold Light Oracle, which would have been a fantastic plan around.
Yep, so Dominus does play around Cold Light Oracle, and he also gets to have at least some presence in play, which is also good. So the Cold Light Oracle does come down, and Eviscerate hits that Flame Tongue Totem. So now Nostam has to decide if he wants to attack that totem. He's probably not going to because... Oh, well, he does. Okay, so now another Taunt Totem could come down.
If this was the case, I would have preferred the Defias Ringleader because you attack the totem with your weapon, and sure, you leave a Flame Tongue Totem out on the board, but there's nothing with it.
That would have played into one of the 2 Lightning Storms that Dominus has. And I don't think he did it because he was playing around Lightning Storm. He just thought that was the stronger play there.
Right. I mean, when you're playing with a card like Defias Ringleader, you're going to have, for the most part, 3 guys out to be Lightning Stormed anyways, though. So it's really hard to not get Lightning Stormed on your Defias Ringleader.
Feral Spirits on turn 5 with 30 life into an empty
Wow.
board is
Against face rogue.
an extremely, extremely powerful position to be in when you are playing against face rogue.
Well, yes, it is.
So Eviscerate number 2 as removal comes down. Nostam cannot be happy with where he's at.
This is the point of despair when you're in a face rogue position. Normally, you're trying to get your opponent to a good life total to have your opponent at on about ending your turn 6, 15, something like that.
He softens up the wolf, kind of under the assumption that he'll be able to finish it off with SI7 agent, or perhaps even the Defias ringleader that's already in play. But there are bananas, and he knows that there's bananas in his opponent's hand, so it's going to take at least 2 resources of some kind to deal with it. And it looks like it'll just end up being probably Defias ringleader plus weapon, which is okay.
Dominus thinking about the safe play versus the little more ambitious play. He's taking the safe play.
I do like the safe play. It plays around Cold Blood, usually leaving minions in play unnecessarily.
Right.
Is not what you want to do.
I think when you're up against face rogue, the safe play often turns out to be the right play.
And Nostam does finally break through and push in 10 damage this turn.
Yeah, and in Nostam's favor, these 3 last cards in his hand are what you want your last 3 cards to be. That looks like maximum of 16 damage with his hand, so Nostam's like, even with this terrible opening, it's like, wow, I actually only need to do 4 more damage.
Dominus is left with a few choices this turn. He has both Feral Spirit and Defender of Argus. He could just play Alec here. He can Lightning Storm. He certainly has a few choices.
A lot of great choices.
A lot of great choices. He could even Azure Drake Lightning Storm, even though it would leave him exposed. He is a 20, and it would probably be good enough. So he just plays Alec here, and I actually like this a lot.
I think it has its pros and cons. On the pro side, it is difficult to be able to cast an 8-mana spell off against a face rogue. On the con side is that was probably the best Lightning Storm you would have gotten in the entire game.
That's true, but I think that Lightning Storms have been nearly a dead card the whole time. And this still lets you, instead of using the Feral Spirit or the Defender of Argus, the previous turn, the Alec here kills both minions and trades with a 3rd thing.
Right.
The other ones would not necessarily have done so, and it would have left you exposed to the possibility, however unlikely, of Blade Flurry. I think that Alec here was like the guaranteed choice and very strong. So I really respect that play. Harrison Jones comes down. It's just killing a 1/1 dagger. It's almost even a little bit like of the Rubbins at this point. I think Dominus is in an extremely good position to take this game. This has been
one of the most one-sided
deck.
games this tournament.
Really, really backed up by really strong play, though, and really strong sequencing.
I agree.
Especially last game when it looked like he might not be able to make it against Hunter, and he just came up with these plays that made it look easy.
Yeah, and I, for one, would not have immediately said Shaman is a great deck against face rogue. In fact,
it's not. I mean, it is okay.
Yeah, it's okay. Going in, I think it's pretty close. Maybe the face rogue is slightly favored, but Dominus has really just cruised under some excellent control here.
Dominus trying to figure out just how much damage he has and what he wants to do on this turn and next. He's trying to plan out both this turn and next turn to try to make sure that he can both be safe and close out the game. He may just decide to play the Azure Drake. It's very likely for him to play something more like Fire Elemental. And it looks like he is going to do so. So Fire Elemental comes down. It's needed basically a gigantic Blade Flurry or bust. So it's got to be a Cold Light Oracle off the top.
Well played.
Right.
And it's not.
And a well played to Dominus, who is going to get it to another game. Wait, I was going to say who closes it out, but you were about to correct me, and you're like, okay.
That was a very dominating performance.
Excellent.
Congratulations to Dominus.
Yeah, you were like 2-1,
No,
and I was like
3-1.
Oh, okay. I didn't see your third finger there. So big congratulations to Dominus.
Yeah.
Wow, he's the winner of the tournament.